Traveling abroad, especially to America and Canada, can be a real great time, a great place to practice your English. But there is something that can bother everybody, and that is the rule of tipping. You never know how much to tip, where you should tip. So in today's video, we're going to talk about the history of tipping, what me and Adam have experienced personally, and some countries that don't do tipping. Hey everyone, welcome back to another, here's your tip, sir, very generous. We're the hosts. My name is MJ.
My name is Adam.
And hey, welcome back to another episode of MJ and Adam Show, where we give you a chance to immerse yourself, to sink and enjoy this feeling of English, of natural English conversation with your two friends, because sometimes when you're practicing and studying English by yourself, you could lose that motivation and lose the focus and just get lost in studying vocabulary, words, grammar through the flashcards. But hey, we're here to remind you that English is a real tool for communicating and conversing. Hey, if you're even interested about talking and speaking more yourself, I do online lessons, so check out the website if you're interested in that. But hey, let's start today's episode. We're going to be talking about tipping, everybody. So the tipping culture is very strong in North America. Let's say America,
Yes.
Canada. I mean, I grew up in America, Adam, Canada, and since I
Yeah,
was a
that's right.
baby, like I didn't pay for anything because my parents did. But yes, I knew about tipping. How about you, Adam?
Same, exactly the same. Since I started earning money for myself,
Mm.
I knew how much tipping was and how kind of frustrating it could be and could get at certain times.
Oh, that might be a surprise
Yeah.
to people because I think, especially in Japan, maybe a lot of people think that in America and in Canada, people who are living there are just accustomed. You're just used to
Yeah.
tipping, but it can prove to be something that's stressful too for us. So what are the things that you find stressful about tipping?
I think the major thing now in Canada,
Mm.
I'm not too sure about the United States, but in Canada, a lot of people use debit and credit cards to make purchases.
Ooh, okay.
So there's less cash.
Mhm.
Even when you go to fast food restaurants, not McDonald's or Wendy's or Burger King,
Okay.
but kind of middle level fast food restaurants,
Okay, fast casuals.
fast casuals.
Yeah.
Where we go to eat, you might just order the food and do a takeout kind of thing, or you might order the food and sit down.
Okay.
As soon as you get the machine, before you get the food, before you get the service, the machine asks you tip percentage.
Dude.
Percentage or tip amount
That-
or change percentage. Those
That makes
things
no sense.
are so annoying because this is going back to when back in my day,
Yeah.
we only used to tip for services. So
Yeah.
if we sit down and we eat in a restaurant, we have a server.
Mhm.
The server comes, they interact with us, they bring us the food, they give us their name, they say, "Hello, my name is Charlene.
Mhm.
What can I do for you today? Would you like some water, some
Yep.
drinks?"
They always come back,
That's how
check on
They
you.
always come back, check on you. And you understand that, yes, they are working to get extra tips, but at least their service is friendly and you can kind of judge how much they get tipped
Mm.
or just give a standard amount, which was 15% at the time.
Yeah.
20% was like a good tip and more than 20% was a great tip.
Yeah.
So my annoying part is that even before you get the service,
Right.
you just make the order, they ask for a tip.
Yeah.
And annoying number 2 is tipping doesn't start at 15% or 10%. It starts at 20%.
Whoa. So the machine just
In
gives you
some
the option.
places.
Starts at 20.
Yeah, 20%.
Whoa.
Maybe 18, 20, and 25. And it's like, okay,
Wait, can you input your own? Like,
you can.
Okay.
You can, but it's more work.
yeah. It's not
To do
a
that.
multiple choice kind of
And,
thing where it's easier for the customer to just be like, 20.
The staff will hand you the machine and be like,
Watch you. Kind of put a little
Watch
pressure.
you.
Yeah.
pressure to tip. So sometimes I've been pressured into
Oh my gosh.
tipping.
That makes
It's annoying.
I could see
Yeah.
exactly what you find
Yeah.
annoying about that, because that doesn't make any sense. Like you were mentioning, the tip is because of the service that you got. It reflects
right.
on how
Yeah.
much the server cared for you and the people at your
Mhm.
table to give
Right.
you a good time, welcoming environment at that place, at that restaurant or
Exactly.
bar or something. And then because of that, you're like, wow, you did a great job. Thank you so much. It was an awesome
Right.
dinner. It was awesome lunch. This is a tip.
You know? Yeah, here's an extra $5, $10.
Exactly.
You did a
Just
great
for
job.
that person.
Just for
And
you. And that's part 2. Just for that person.
yes, not anyone else,
And in
because you
this
helped me out.
case,
Yeah.
you get a cashier.
Oh, yeah.
Cashier takes the tip. Do they?
Do they?
Does the cook take the tip? Who takes the tip?
Is it
You
split?
don't know.
Whoa.
You don't know.
Here we go with the cashless society. There's
society.
some places where it seems like it doesn't really work out, or it just causes
Yeah.
more problems.
Oh, yeah.
I always thought tipping was really difficult to understand. Again, I moved to Japan as I was
Mhm.
becoming an adult, so I didn't do a vast amount of tipping while I was in the
Oh, okay.
US. Just like for taxi cab fares, in New York City and stuff. Never went to
Yeah.
like fancy restaurants or anything. But it was all about the service, and you wanted to help that one person out. And it kind of made sense because, especially in the US, probably Canada too, you have both sides of customer service, from really bad. They're
Yes.
not paying attention. They're not helping you. There's no smiles.
Yes.
To this other side where you feel like appreciated more, and they're helping you more. So you want to give to that person, right? So
right.
we're in Japan, it's everyone's giving without expecting anything,
Yes.
So I mean, that's just a great mindset to have, and another point of, why Japan is pretty amazing for that. But I'm sure maybe some people have the question, how did this whole tipping thing start? So
Yeah. That's
I
a good
did a
question.
little research, because Adam, do you know off the top of your head?
No, I have no idea.
Yeah.
I can imagine it ended up being that the wages, the amount the person gets paid, is lower
Mhm.
than the standard.
Yep.
So by tipping, you're able to kind of give them more, and they can, have a better chance of survival, I guess.
Right. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
But I don't know what the root,
Yes.
the roots and the branches
Yep.
of this tree.
Yep. And I would have to
started it, how
chime
far
in
they go.
and say for myself too, I
Yeah.
don't know exactly why it is such an important thing for servers and people in that field of work
Right.
in the US and North America. But what I understand is that the minimum wage, the amount that they're
Mhm.
paid, is low compared to
Yes.
other types of jobs. So
Right.
tipping is very important for those people who work in that field. So
Right.
did a little research online, and I found that, yes, tipping in the US began in the 19th century, influenced by European customs and exploited after the end of slavery as a way for, ooh, hey, we're getting deep, as a way
Yeah.
for employers, people who are paying, the companies, as a way for
Uh-huh.
employers to avoid paying fair wages,
Wow.
particularly to who? The black worker.
Servers. Oh.
Because it was right after slavery
Slavery, yeah.
that they continued to keep it, and because they would
Wow.
probably enforce it more on the people, or the blacks living in the US. That's horrible. And to think about the employers, they're thinking like, we don't want to pay more money to these people.
Right.
So what can we do? Oh, let's keep this thing,
Let's
this
make
tipping
a
system,
tipping culture.
tipping
yeah.
culture, where they have to do extra work, and then they feel as a company it's a win-win for them, because their service is hopefully getting better, because these people,
Right.
the staff, are working harder, so those staff can get more money.
Right.
It continues on. Despite early resistance, a lot of people didn't like the system to continue. It became stuck due to the economic incentives for businesses, and it became a cultural norm. Although it remains a
Oh.
source of controversy for income inequality and labor rights
Yes.
right now. These
Totally.
it's what we would say a low income job. It's like a job that serving is something that pretty much anybody can do, right? You can go, you can get trained
Yeah,
for
yeah.
it, you know how to, you
Right.
understand how to serve and stuff. So if we look back onto history and what people have taught us of if you want a good job, you have to get a good education. To get a good education, you need to have
Right.
money to continue that cycle. And for families, for people, immigrants who are coming over to America, the African Americans who just, got out of slavery and like now what do they have? They have nothing. It
Right.
was so difficult for them to get that education to then get the good job. So their
Right,
only
right.
option was these low paying jobs. And then I guess all those companies just continue, oh yeah, do the tip. Well, you get a tip.
Yeah.
You get a tip. If you work hard enough, you can
You
get a
get a
tip.
tip. Just work harder.
Just work harder.
hard.
Hmm. Seems like yeah, it's a pretty bad thing that has continued and sounds like even got worse. Like you're mentioning,
Yeah.
as the tip inflation, all the money's, the cost of everything has gone up.
Right.
Same with this. And
right.
instead of people getting paid just a fair wage,
Wage, yeah.
which if you're looking at Japan versus America and Canada, Japan actually still has a pretty low, bad, we would say, in
Oh,
the
yeah.
US, like a crazy low minimum wage
Minimum
for a
wage, yeah,
first world
yeah.
country, for a developed country,
Right,
where in North America, it's gone up since we were kids.
It has. But I think the major issue
Not a huge
for
amount,
us
but
in
yeah.
North America, exactly, that's the biggest thing
Yeah.
is that the minimum wage has not gone up with the inflation. It's still bad, even though here I think in Ontario, our minimum wage now is around, I'm gonna say $17 per hour.
Which is probably like
And they want to
Nissan
raise it.
with the conversion.
Yeah, with the conversion. So Nissan, like you think about it, it's like, wow, per hour?
Yeah, exactly.
Imagine Kombini Nissan per
Yeah,
hour.
yeah, because right now it's like
Yeah.
780 yen or something.
Yeah, something like
Yeah,
that, right?
yeah.
So it's pretty good.
Mhm.
Like, but then when you have, like, for example, a simple thing like a banana, a bunch of bananas, 5 bananas is like $3. You have $3 minus your Nissan. That's $17 left after you buy like bananas.
Yeah, yeah.
Then you have to pay for rent and
Mhm.
your car insurance and all the other stuff. So,
Yeah.
but we have this tipping culture. So everybody is getting low wages. And then you have tipping culture, and people with low wages have to eat and they want to eat somewhere. And then they have to add on to this food that they bought with tips. People are getting upset like, man, like I know the wages are low for you,
Yeah.
but they're low for me too.
Yeah.
I can't afford to pay tips. And you didn't even do anything. You just stood behind the counter and took my order.
Exactly.
You know?
And that's a really interesting one.
Yeah.
And it goes into like when to pay a tip. I think this is
Yeah,
a question
when to pay.
I hear a lot from people who are traveling
Yeah.
to the US, a lot of people here in Japan. You don't pay for fast food like McDonald's,
Yeah.
Wendy's, I don't know
Yeah.
what else, like In-N-Out. Maybe there's a few like Five Guys, maybe In-N-Out too, where there's like a tip jar where it's pretty much up to you. It's your donation to the
Yeah.
cause of these burger flippers.
Right.
If you want to give them a little more. But when you give a tip, you want to do it at a full service restaurant where there are servers coming to your table serving you. Also, takeout. If you order a pizza and somebody comes and delivers it, then
Right.
you give.
Some tips.
Right? Any kind of delivery service, because I feel like there's a lot more now.
Uber Eats.
Mm-hmm.
It's the main one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another one is if you go over looking at a lot of travelers might face hotels. The concierge, the front desk, as you say in Japanese. In English, we say concierge. The bellhops, so the people who are maybe opening the door for you, who are bringing your bags to your room. That's another time that you can pay. Some people will pay like, I don't know, a few dollars, maybe per bag. Another one is valet parking. So maybe if you're traveling, you don't have a car, so you don't have to worry about it. But yeah, if these people are giving you the service of, hey, just leave your car with me and I'll take care of parking it, which I don't think I've ever seen in Japan, now that I think about it. Do you still see it actually? Maybe it's just like specific places.
I think it's more like I
high-end
think of
club,
ballet
like,
as like high-end club.
yeah.
I did see it in a mall in Japan.
Whoa.
Yeah, one of those Lalaports places.
Yep.
But I think it was because it was to like a high-end thing. Yeah, there were a lot of like high-end cars
Yep.
going in and out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some other ones are like
But-
personal services. If you go get your hair cut, if you get like a
Yeah.
massage,
Right.
bartenders, if you're at the bar,
Right.
if you're moving something, if you'll hire some movers, you maybe give them a tip, or if you're on
Yeah.
a tour guide, if you have a personal tour guide taking you through the city, and they're showing you around, and you had such a good time, it was really funny, and you got extra stuff, then you could
Right.
tip them. And with the percentage, I mean, Adam, you mentioned before that average a while ago it was 15 was kind of like the starting
Around
point.
15 was kind of like,
Whatever
was
the price.
the 15 was like a decent tip. 10 was like, okay, it was okay. I tipped.
Right.
Yeah, but 15 was like decent.
Yes.
You'd be happy with 15.
Yeah. And that's always something that can be difficult, especially, for
Right.
travelers. They're already spending a lot of money traveling to that country. And it's like, oh, I wanted a nice meal, so I went to this fancy restaurant. But now on top of this like $50 bill that I had for dinner, I have to pay an extra like 20 bucks. Yeah. But I could use that $20 to get an I Love New York t-shirt. That's what I wanted.
Yeah. Exactly.
And it makes it difficult. But to wrap this all up, everyone, there are a few countries where you do not have to worry about paying tips.
Oh,
Now, of course, one of them is Japan.
of course, yeah.
That, where I've gotten so comfortable and used to it. When I go back to America, I'm like, oh no, what do I do? How much? I'm like, I don't know, let's throw a few bucks down. But now
Compared to Japan, well,
it's
you didn't say welcome.
it's
You know, so I was saying,
yeah.
You didn't bow.
Those smiles.
Do anything.
But a few other countries are South Korea,
Oh, okay.
China, Singapore, Hong Kong, Australia, New Zealand, a bunch of Nordic countries, Denmark, Sweden,
wow.
Norway, Finland, Iceland, France, and Italy, Switzerland, South Africa. Dude,
Wow.
that is a lot. I thought it was most of the
Yeah.
world who did tipping, who had this custom of tipping. But there's actually a lot.
Quite a bit.
Yeah. So it seems like just if you want to enjoy America and Canada, you have to deal with the difficulties of tipping.
Tipping, yeah. Bring extra change.
Even though it seems like it's not such a great system, it's a troublesome thing for the people who are working in those jobs and the people who are going to eat at those establishments, those restaurants, those bars.
Yeah.
Let us know what you think down in the comments of tipping culture. It's something that's really different. Have you experienced it in your travels over to North America? If you like this one, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel to hear more awesome talks by me and Adam.
Yeah. So that's it. We'll see you
On the next
step.
step.